Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. I decided to come outside out of my hole in my computer room. It's such a nice day out here. I'm deep in the wilderness, or at least I'm like, I don't know, 5 feet deep from my backyard into the wilderness. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the Camillus Carnivore. So stay tuned. Well, it should be no surprise that I got this at Walmart. Sorry about the shadows, the lighting is not optimal. There is some warranty information. There is a lifetime warranty that also came in the box. But here's what else comes in the box. It is the Machete, and it comes in a nylon sheath where they promote themselves proudly. Now this is a 18-inch machete. The blade is 12 inches. Overall it's 18 inches, and it comes with this ballistic nylon sheath. Now they say that it's a full tang blade, but we'll get to that. And they also state that it's 440 stainless steel. It's titanium bonded. That's one of the big things that Camillus is touting right now. Acme, you know. That's the company, whatever. The supposedly that coating that's bonded to titanium coating is 10 times harder than steel, so it helps protect the steel, makes it a little bit stronger on the surface. It's multi-grind. You can see that there are several grinds here. You have your primary here, and you have this one. It's sort of almost like a little tonneau. Now the tip is blunt right there. There is no edge on there. And you also notice it's not plain edge. It is partially serrated. Yeah, it's partially serrated like a knife. And then you have your flat edge here. Let's see. I think the ice cream truck is close by out here in the wilderness. Anyway, the handle is ABS. And it's very comfortable. It's a very comfortable handle. However, it has no texture whatsoever. You also have this here. No, this is not a gut hook. Not a gut hook at all. It is a wire cutter. You could also use it to cut 550 cord. It is not a gut hook. So let's put this aside for a minute and look at the sheath. The sheath is absolute crap. It's ballistic nylon, but it's the cheaper kind. It's not the really good kind. Now there are a couple of rivets here to reinforce it, which is good because all the stitching is single stitching. It's not double stitched, and it also feels very flimsy. I don't know how long. Actually, the inside of that goes around your belt here is just cheap foam that'll probably disintegrate over a couple of years. And of course, the whole thing is held in with a Velcro strap, a very thin, cheesy Velcro strap, which you know how much I like Velcro straps. Anyway, so I think the best part of this sheath is just the embroidery work done on it, and that's about it. So take it for whatever that's worth. And also, if you notice, there's no hole on the bottom of this sheath, so you're going to have it on your belt, and it's going to be flopping around all over the place. Not very impressive. Alright, enough with that. So, let's go over the specs real quick. Again, this is 12-inch overall, 8-inch, 12-inch, it's 18-inch altogether, 12-inch blade. The blade is titanium bonded, 440 stainless steel. And they say it's full tang, but it's not, you see? If it's full tang, you would still see that blade all around here. So it might be a full-length tang, but it, you know, inside it comes back, at least as far as that bolt. That's about all I would give it. Full tang, not, or a full length tang, but not a full tang. Now, the steel. I got a problem with 440 steel in a machete. The problem is that 440 is way, way, way too hard a steel, too brittle a steel for a machete. It absolutely is too hard. And I got some notes here that I'm going to go ahead and read real quick. The toughness is important because of twisting, impact forces on a a blade of a machete. And while edge retention is secondary, medium to a high carbon spring steel such as 1050 or 1095 are much better suited for a machete type application than a stainless steel, which you would usually use, a high carbon stainless steel on a smaller knife that you're not putting as, this crazy amount of stress that you would put on a big machete. So, this, I doubt that this is going to stand up to repeated hard abuse that you would put something like this through, because this just looks mean. It's like, oh, a zombie killer or whatever, but it's not going to take an enormous amount of hard impacts because it's a too brittle a steel for this. Anyway, they also partially serrated this, which, again, this is not a knife. This is a machete. I don't understand why you would partially serrate the main part of your machete, the edge. What they should have done was go with a complete plain edge, straight edge. And if they want to put a saw or something on there, they should have put a saw kind of teeth on the top, so you could use the back of it as a saw or for notching or something like that. Don't put knife-like serrations. Don't put knife-like serrations on a machete. That's crazy. And you can see you got your secondary edge here, sort of like a Tano, and again it's blunt on the end. So, interesting design. Let you take a close look. You can see that it has Torx type screws in the handle that's holding the two halves of the scales onto the full length tang. It's not a full tang. Okay, so the handle is ABS. You got your wire cutter here. The weight of this thing is 15.4 ounces. It's about just a hair over a pound with the sheath. It is, of course, made in China because I bought it at Walmart for the unbelievable low price of $27.97. Anyway, let's go ahead and do some tests and see how well it does. Well, the first thing, we'll take care of some light vegetation, so we'll see how well this does up here. Let me get you better in frame there. So I'll go ahead and just take some swings at this light vegetation. Okay, it seems to actually be doing quite well. Alright, let me bring it up here just a little bit so you can see some more that here's a good branch right here. So we'll go ahead and hack on this here. You can see this is about, say about a quarter to a half inch thick. And that took that right off. And that took that right off. Alright, so not too bad. The next thing I'm going to do is, where did I put that stick? Here we go. Are you in frame? No, you're not in frame. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and sort of beat on this stick a little bit. See how thick that is? Okay, I just did some repeated beating on this stick. What I'm doing is I'm checking to see if the knife is, or the machete is getting loose within the handle. See, that's in there pretty good. At least along with the grains of that guy right there. Alright, now it's not too fair to really chop on too much wood because this is a machete, it is not an axe. Oh, you know what? I should try the serrations out really quick. Actually, that kind of helps, makes notches pretty good right there. I don't know if it's easier to just do it like that. It's actually easier with that. There we go, a little notch. I think saw teeth on the back of this probably would have been better. I don't feel any blade play whatsoever. And again, ergonomics, pretty good. Now there is no texture on this handle at all, so I know if this gets wet, it could become pretty slippery. So actually it did better on the tests than what I've been reading on the internet with, so you know, some people probably put this through a lot more abuse than I do. This is just a quick little thing, but people who have used this continuously for days on camping trips did seem to have issues, but I don't see any issues here. So let's go down to pros and cons. Pros is it's very cheap, it looks cool, it looks like it could take care of your zombie killing needs, and you know, cheap and cool looking. Now the cons, a lot of owners out there, a very high percentage of owners of this knife have complained about broken blades, paint eventually wearing off this handle, this camo pattern right here, and handles getting loose. Now, from what I've seen here, no problem from what I did, and I think I was beating that wood there pretty hard, so I don't know. I'm not seeing it just with this quick review. And the other big issue that I have is that the handle is not textured. And then a third issue would be that if this thing were just full tang, if this thing were full tang and 1095 steel, this would be a 10 out of 10, you know, awesome winner. Oh, and if it had the straight edge of the saw on top, it would be a 10 out of 10. But because of some, you know, it was just engineered kind of weird. I'm not, you know, with what I've said, if it had what I said, 10 out of 10. But because of knife-like serrations, knife-like steel instead of 1095, too many reports out there of blades breaking and getting loose, I can't give this a high score. As a matter of fact, you know, based on my personal experience, it did okay, but based on everything else that I'm seeing out there, I'm very hesitant to even recommend this to you viewers. Now, keep in mind, this is an inexpensive machete. It's 27 bucks, but you know what? There's some cold steel machetes out there, but they don't quite look like this multi-tool here. They don't look as cool. So, I'm recommending this with caution. You know, it does have a lifetime warranty. You can send it back, let them fix it. But I'll give it a 6 out of 10, and I would say buy it with caution. Don't spend more than $27 for it. So that's about it. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And I hope you have a awesome evening. Take care.